Hi guys, what's up? Welcome back. Today I want to show you how you can build your very own pen test lab. It is really easy to do. It's simple to set up. All you need is a desktop. We're going to install Kali on there. We're going to put VirtualBox, and then we're going to install two of the most popular VMs that you can use to practice your hacking skills, and that is Metasploitable 2 and Metasploitable 3. So the first thing you're going to need is obviously you're going to need an old laptop or a desktop or somewhere that you can actually install Kali Linux. Ideally, you don't want to build this as a VM. You want to run this on some sort of dedicated hardware if you have one. That way you can put VirtualBox on there and you can kind of use Kali Linux as a hypervisor. We want to build more things on top of this. So what I've done, I have an old desktop that I have and I've just put in a new hard drive and I've installed Kali Linux on that desktop. If you haven't installed Kali before, it is really easy to do. You're going to need a USB drive, then you're going to come over here to Kali, onto the Kali website. You're going to click on Get Kali, which brings you to this page. You want to click on this one to get the installer image. Then it's going to bring you here and you're going to download the ISO for Kali Linux. Once you have the Kali ISO, you're going to come over to this website. This is Balena Etcher. You're going to download this tool. This tool is going to help you build your bootable USB drive to install Kali. To create your bootable USB, you're just going to get your USB pen, you're going to plug it into your computer, then you're going to open up the Balena Etcher software. It's going to ask you to choose the ISO that you want to put on the USB drive. Select the ISO for Kali Linux, hit flash, and that's going to go through the process and it's going to end up, it's just going to finish and you're going to have a bootable USB drive. Now once you've done that, you want to take that out and then you want to go and plug it into your new computer wherever you want to install Kali Linux and boot it up, and then we're going to boot to this USB drive. So whenever you turn your computer on, you might need to press a key to get into the boot menu. Once you do, you just want to move down and select the USB drive that you've inserted. After that, you want to hit graphical install. That'll reboot and you'll eventually get to a screen where you'll have to go through setting your language and your keyboard settings. It's all pretty standard. Eventually you'll get to a page where you have to configure your network. So just give your Kali machine a host name. You're going to set up your username and password. Then eventually you're going to get to a page where you have to do the disk partition. So you want to hit guided, use the entire disk. Just make sure that you're using a dedicated hard drive for this install and you're not using a secondary hard drive in your computer. If you make a mistake here, you could potentially wipe it, so just be careful at this stage. Once you're happy with the partition settings, it's going to ask you if you want to continue making the changes, and then you just have to hit yes and then continue. At this stage, you just want to select the software that you want to install. I just leave everything as default and hit continue. After about 10 minutes, the machine should reboot. You can remove your USB drive now, and it's just going to boot up and get you to a login page. Enter the username and password that you set during the install, and that is it. Now that Kali is installed, that is the hard part done. The next thing we need to do is to do some updates, and then we're going to get VirtualBox installed. Installing all of the updates is the very first thing I do every time I install Linux. So all you have to do is open up terminal. You're going to type in sudo apt update. Put in your password. That's going to go through and give you the updates. Something strange happened with the audio here, but all you have to do is type in sudo apt upgrade --y and that'll go and do all of the upgrades. Okay, so finally, now we have got Kali installed, we've done all the updates. Now we can start to install stuff and get started building our virtual environments and start building the things that we want to attack. So first thing we're going to need is VirtualBox. I'll leave all the links in the description below for these instructions, but all you have to do is come over to this website. We're going to move down here to step 1. So we're going to download and run the VirtualBox install. So this part here we've already done. So let's go to this part here. We're going to copy this. We're going to open up our terminal again. We're going to paste that in, hit enter, put in our password, and that is going to go download VirtualBox and get that up and going. Now again, I have installed this previously just to speed up the process of this video. That takes about 2 or 3 minutes and I will basically just install VirtualBox. Now once that's done, just come over here to the top left hand corner. In this search box, we're going to type in virtual and you should see it actually pop up. There you go. So there you go, this is VirtualBox installed. Now we can start to build a number of different VMs. The two VMs that we're going to install is Metasploitable 2 and Metasploitable 3, and I'll walk through the process of how to get them up and going. Okay, two machines that we want to build. Metasploitable 2 and Metasploitable 3. The good thing is we can download the images for those and easily get them imported into VirtualBox. So if you come over here to this link, again they're in the description below, you'll see this is Metasploitable 2. You can see here it says Metasploitable 2 is available at these different links, so I'm going to go there. Over on this page you can see this is Metasploitable, and you can see this is giving you a summary of what it is. Over here under the Files tab, you will see this Metasploitable 2, so click in there and then you're going to see this. You want to download this Metasploitable Linux. This is thing, it's around 865 meg, so it shouldn't take too long to download. To download that, all you have to do is just click on the zip file and that will actually start the download process. To get the Metasploitable 2 image, all you have to do is come over to this link again in the description, and you're going to click on the same thing. You want to click on Files, and you're going to download this. This is the OVA for Metasploitable 3, so that's like a machine image that we're going to use to import into VirtualBox. Again, just click on this link here, the OVA, and that's going to download that file. That one is around 3 gigs, so it should take a few minutes to download. Once you have both of those downloaded, you're going to open up your downloads folder, and you should have those two images. So you have the Metasploitable 3 OVA and you have this Metasploitable 2 zip file. So all you have to do is unzip that and you will see this folder. So this has all of these different files in it. So first machine we're going to install is going to be Metasploitable 2. So we have all the files downloaded. So all we want to do is we want to come over here to VirtualBox. So what you want to do is you want to click on New. I'm going to give it a name. I'm just going to call it MS2. For the OS, I'm just going to select Linux and we're just going to click on Next. In here, I'm going to up the RAM to 4 gig. It's really up to you. If you have more RAM, you can give it more RAM. 4 gig is probably plenty for this machine. We're going to leave everything here default. It's fine. Click Next. Then we're going to click on Finish. Once that's done, what you want to do is you want to come in here to the settings for this VM, and we're going to make some changes. So in here, you want to, under General, we can leave everything fine. Under System, that is also fine. Under Display, we're going to up this. We're going to change the video memory. We're going to probably put that at 60 meg. The reason for this is sometimes I've experienced logging into some of these Linux VMs, I'm just getting a black screen, and the fix has always been just to increase the video memory. So by default, I just up it to 60 meg now. So we're going to come down here under Storage. And what you want to do is you want to delete this. So this MS2, this is the disk that was created whenever we created the VM. We're going to get rid of that and we're going to use the hard drive that came down with the Metasploitable 2 zip file. So just click on that one. You want to right click and click on remove attachment. Then you're going to click on this plus. Now chances are you're not going to see this in Metasploitable 2. So all you have to do is click on add, and then you're going to go to the downloads folder in the Metasploitable 2 folder that we unzipped, and you should see this VMDK file. So you want to hit that and click on open, and that's going to show that here. So you want to select that one and you want to click on choose. Okay, that's like that. Okay, that's good. Then you want to come over here to network. So we're going to make one change to the networking. As you can see, this is set as NAT. The IP address that this virtual machine is going to get is on a different range, and it's just going to be NATed through the host. What I want to do is I want all of my virtual machines to get an IP address from my home network. That way my Kali Linux, the Metasploitable 2 and Metasploitable 3 will all be on the same subnet. And the reason for that is that I want to build more things on that network down the line. So I don't just want these two VMs, I want to have the ability to build more things and be able to hack into more things. So if I keep them all on the same network, it's going to make things a little bit easier. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop this down and I'm going to hit on bridge adapter. Leave that as ETH0, which is fine. Then we're just going to go to OK, and that is that one done. So all we have to do now is click on start, and this one should hopefully boot up. So that is now there. Now the login for Metasploitable 2 is msfadmin and msfadmin, and as you can see, that is now up and running. We can get into Metasploitable 2. Okay, so next machine that we want to build is Metasploitable 3, and this one comes down as an OVA file, which makes it even easier. So all you have to do is come over here to your downloads folder. We're going to open folder. You want to literally double click on the OVA file, and what that's going to do is that is actually going to open that automatically in VirtualBox, like you can see, and it is going to go through the import process. So as you can see, source, and it's showing you the OVA file. So let's click on finish. Over in this top right hand corner you should see this importing appliance. So that might take a few minutes to do that. It is pretty fast. So after a few minutes of that importing the appliance, you will see it over here on the left hand side. Now it is Metasploitable 3 and it gives you this sort of UB1404 at the end. Again, I'm going to come in here, go into settings, and I am going to change a few things around. So again, I'm going to go into display and I'm going to up that to 60 meg. And down under network, I'm going to change this again to bridge adapter, because again I want that to run on my home network. So let's check the RAM and stuff that has been assigned. So under system you can see it's 2 gig, so I'm going to up that to 4 gig. Again, hit OK, and why is that failed? Empty or null host only interface name. Oh, it must be something with the network. So let's go in the network. You can see that looks fine. Is there another adapter? Let's untick that. I only want to have one network adapter. So if you get that error message, just come in here and disable the adapter too. Hit OK, and hopefully that should work. Okay, yeah, perfect. So let's turn this on and we'll see what it does. Because this is running a really old version of Ubuntu, you can see it's 14.4. You will get some error messages like that one that did show at the start, but it does just eventually boot past that anyway. So if you're just patient, it just boots past. So after a few minutes, you'll see the login screen. Now the username for this is VA Grant. Hit enter and VA Grant again, and that should get you logged in. Okay, let's check the IP address of this. So you can see it's 1096.12.193, and let's go over to the other one and check that one as well. So it's 1096.12.84. So obviously the bridge networking change has worked, and they are both getting an IP address on the same network as Kali, which is exactly what I wanted. So now you have those two machines up and going. They are two really vulnerable machines that you can use to practice all of your skills like NMAP, Metasploit. You can do so much with those two tools alone. In fact, I actually made a video on 5 exploits in Metasploitable 2, so I actually walk through how to do that. If you're new to hacking, you haven't done it before, then check that video out because it is quite helpful. But now you have Kali up and going, you've got VirtualBox, your learning capabilities now is literally unlimited. There's so many things that you can download and build on VirtualBox, so you can just keep practicing and getting better at hacking. Now that we have everything on the same network, the 1096 network, if I wanted to do a quick scan, all I would have to do is come up here, open up a terminal. Let's just run a very quick NMAP scan of our subnet. So we'll do NMAP. We'll do SN. It's going to be a quick scan. 1096.12.024. Hit enter. That's going to go out and scan that whole subnet and bring me back a bunch of IPs, things that are alive. So as you can see, this is results. If we look down through this, it does give me a number of different hosts online. So this one at the top, then you've got, this is your Metasploitable 3, and then you've got your Kali machine. I actually created another video on NMAP, and it shows you a bunch of different NMAP scans, and basically just a walkthrough on how you can actually use NMAP to scan your environment to start finding things with open ports and stuff. So I'll leave both those links and everything else I've mentioned so you can actually build this whole thing yourself at home. I hope you found this helpful. Again, it's really good just to build a dedicated machine just for pen testing and hacking. It's such a good thing to have. I have a separate hard drive that I can plug into my computer, and anytime I want to just play around with Kali and VirtualBox and the machines, I literally just turn the computer off, switch the hard drive and boot it back up again, so it's perfect. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it was helpful. If you did, remember to like and subscribe so I can grow this channel and share these videos with other people. Thanks again, and I will see you in the next one.